Hi guys, my name is Shelby Hernandez and I will be giving you some tips on dealing with your overbearing parent or parents. You know, the ones that drive us crazy with all their questions that they ask about our homework, our projects, our tests, our quizzes, all that academic stuff. This is just from my perspective, and I've used a lot of these tips on more than one occasion when dealing with my mom's bazillion questions. But your results might vary, so sometimes you can use these tips and sometimes you can't. So it all depends on your situation at hand. I know this is just for laughs, but this involvement can be damaging, and some parents need to see that because it does stifle our social growth. And from a college student's perspective, as you can see, I'm representing my school. It can be very damaging to have all this added stress from our parents put on us. We're already going through crazy amounts of stress as is from the transition from high school to college. So parents just need to ease up just a little bit. But on a more uplifting note, here are 10 tips in dealing with your overbearing parents' involvement in your academic life. Tip 1, be vague. Be very, 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 very vague. You know how there's a bazillion questions that are thrown at us? Just be vague about everything. Don't specifically answer any question that they give you, ask you, throw at you, put you in a spotlight and everything. Just be vague. Because of this vagueness, you are able to dodge the questions and are not set up for any further questioning. And that way you can just nip it in the bud and stop the attack of questions, question attack, so to say. Tip 2, run away. Run away as fast as you possibly can, but don't make it too obvious because they'll pick up on that. They're smart. But as soon as you walk in and you drop that backpack off on the floor, it's like a sounding off alarm. They hear it and they immediately come running at you, whether it's your mom or your dad or both. If it's both, I'm sorry. But anyways, they come running at you with their bazillion questions that they want to ask. So in return, you have to run away from them. You just find a hiding spot and you stick to it. Now, you're probably wondering where you would go in running away. You could find your own hiding spot, or that leads us to our next tip. Tip number 3, hide away in your room. That is your best friend. Your room is your best friend. If you are gifted with a lock, use that to your advantage. Because I don't have a lock, and I never have, but that's beside the point. Your room is your safe zone where you can relax and just chill from all the stressors that you have going on in your life. That's the green zone. The red zones are common areas like the kitchen or the living room sometimes. So use your green zone to your advantage because in the red zone there's the possibility of open fire of questions. Tip number 4, short sentences. Keep your sentences as short as possible. You know, when you absolutely have to answer a couple questions. Just keep it short, to the point, simple, and try to move on. Try to avoid as much as you can. Remember, when you give out too much information, that'll lead to more questions. So, by keeping your answers short, this will cut off the expansion of questions and intrusion into your life. So, just keep it short. Tip number 5. Headphones. Headphones are a great weapon to use in this war we have going on between parents and students. Just put on your headphones and they probably won't bother you. If they do try and bother you, you just put them right back on after you're done answering their question. Headphones help. They help so much. I literally have about 10 pairs of headphones just in my room. And I've used them on multiple occasions to avoid questions. My mom sees that they're in, and she usually just tries to ask me a quick question and then just moves on real fast. And maybe even sometimes you don't have to completely plug them in. You really don't. I've literally have had these headphones on, and I'm just nodding along like I'm listening to something, but I'm not. And my mom thought that I was, and she just asked me the quick question that she needed to and just kept on walking. It worked. Not even gonna lie. Tip number 6. Don't update them. Do not update them. If they ask you, do you have any tests or quizzes or big projects coming up? You say no. You be nonchalant about it. No, nothing right now. Not really, no. I'm good. Don't just say no, because then they're going to know that you have something coming up. So, this is your opportunity to be like, nah, brush it off. Because if they know, they will ask for constant updates every day. They will ask how you are doing in those updates, which will lead to more questions, more attacks. And we don't want that in our war. So just don't update them. Don't allow that possibility of attack. So you can, focus on yourself, take a deep breath, and you'll be able to handle your own homework, quizzes, tests, projects on your own. Tip number 7. Turn the questions on them. If they ask you, how was your day, you say fine and ask them about their day. What happened, what they ate, what interesting thing happened on their way to work, what happened at work, what coworkers were annoying them, anything. Did it rain? Was there an explosion? Something. Just ask them about anything, so then they can focus on themselves and completely forget about you, because that's what happens sometimes. So you can avoid the whole attacking with the questions, the bazillion questions, because that's how many questions they ask. So turn the questions on them. Tip number 8, involve yourself in an extracurricular activity or activities, whether it's sports, band, theater, art, music, volunteering. Just find something and do it. This way you're out of the house more, and that's kind of the point. So then you wouldn't be set up for more possible attacks of questions. And you're busy. You're also working on your social growth, and you're finding new friends and making them and finding those connections. For me, it was sports. I was this athlete that did all of the sports. I was in volleyball, basketball was my thing, and softball and soccer, and I was track manager, so I was crazy busy. That was the point. I made some great friends, and a lot of these relationships will last a lifetime, and I know it. And I made some great memories. So just find an extracurricular activity, find something, and do it. Tip number 9, act busy. We've all done it. As soon as you hear that knock on your door, you grab a textbook or something, and just grab a pen, and you're just like, yes, I'm doing homework, I swear. But you're not doing homework. You're on Netflix or on YouTube or on your phone texting someone, or you are not doing homework. So that way, you're doing homework, but we both know that you're not. And they leave the room because they're like, oh, we don't want to bother them when they're doing homework because, they're working all hard. You're not working hard. This just gives you an opportunity to avoid the attack. And finally, tip number 10, play dead. I know what you're thinking. Only possums can do that. I'm not talking about what possums do. I'm talking about fake as though you're sleeping. You hear their footsteps nearing towards your room, so you grab a pillow, you grab a blanket, and you turn off all the lights, and you close your eyes, and you look like you're sleeping, but you're really not. So they open the door real fast, and they see that you're sleeping, and they leave the room. This way, you can avoid the constant updating and the questions, and you can go back to whatever you were doing, Netflix, texting your friend, or possibly even doing homework. So just play dead. And those are my 10 tips on dealing with overbearing parent or parents in your academic life. I've used these tips on more than one occasion, and if you know a friend who's going through a similar situation, recommend these tips. Just remember, use these tips throughout those times when your parents are too overbearing in your academic life. I'm Shelby Hernandez. Bye! Tip number, that's 7. I meant 8. So I've had... Hi guys! So those are my 10 tips on dealing with your overbearing parent or parents. I've had firsthand She's calling me right now. Literally right now. Hi guys! So yeah, I've had a lot of experience. Really, Brutus? Really? Really? You're so creepy. Stop staring at me.